It's been a decade since China launched its Belt and Road Initiative or BRI. Under the framework, China will sign agreements with countries for big-ticket infrastructure projects, including ports, railways, bridges, and highways.
It's been 10 years since China rolled out an ambitious infrastructure and investment project stretching across the globe.
The Belt and Road Initiative helped pave the way for the expansion of China's worldwide reach.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to reshape the world? Imagine a world where China is connected to all corners of the globe by a vast network of roads, railways, and ports. This is the vision of China's Belt and Road Initiative, one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects in history. In this video, we're diving deep into the heart of China's massive Belt and Road Initiative, a transformative vision that is capturing the world's attention. Join us as we unravel the mysteries, stories, and complexities behind China's massive Belt and Road Initiative, and ask yourself, where will this road lead us and how will it change the world as we know it? China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, also known as the New Silk Road, stands as one of the most audacious infrastructure undertakings in history. Initiated by President Xi Jinping in 2013, this extensive array of development and investment ventures was initially crafted with the aim of connecting East Asia to Europe via tangible infrastructure. Over the past decade, the initiative has grown to encompass regions in Africa, Oceania, and Latin America, substantially amplifying China's economic and geopolitical sway. The Belt and Road Initiative, often referred to as the BRI, represents an ambitious strategy aimed at establishing two novel trade pathways that interlink China with the global community. Nevertheless, this endeavor extends beyond mere infrastructure development. This initiative constitutes a comprehensive endeavor to foster an enlarged interconnected marketplace for China, enhance China's economic and geopolitical influence, and create an environment conducive to the advancement of a high-technology economy with China. Motivations behind the BRI. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, is primarily driven by three motivations. The first, and internationally discussed, revolves around China's rivalry with the United States. Given that a significant portion of China's international trade traverses the Malacca Strait, located adjacent to the United States' staunch ally, Singapore, the BRI serves as a pivotal element in China's quest to establish more secure trade routes independent of external influence. Another undeniable objective of China is to foster interdependence between participating nations and, in doing so, amass economic and political influence on a global scale. In this regard, it bears some resemblance to the Marshall Plan following the Second World War. However, a fundamental distinction lies in China's approach, as it provides funding to other nations purely based on shared economic interests. The second crucial rationale behind this initiative stems from the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. In response to this crisis, the Chinese government implemented a substantial 4 trillion Chinese yuan stimulus package, resulting in the construction of railways, bridges, and airports. This, however, led to market saturation within China. The Belt and Road Framework offers an alternative market for China's extensive state-owned enterprises beyond the nation's borders. Lastly, the Belt and Road is regarded as an essential component of the Chinese government's broader strategy to revitalize the economies of the country's central provinces, historically lagging behind the more prosperous coastal region. The government utilizes the Belt and Road to encourage and support businesses in these central areas, allocating generous budgets and stimulating competition among businesses vying for Belt and Road contracts. Evolution of the BRI's name. The Belt and Road Initiative underwent a series of name changes during its evolution. Initially, it was recognized as two distinct projects, later referred to as the One Belt, One Road Initiative, and eventually assumed the name Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt component of the Silk Road Economic Initiative pertains to the vision of rejuvenating the historical overland trade routes connecting Europe and Asia. These routes are primarily intended to be constructed with substantial Chinese expertise. The concept was initially introduced by Chinese President Xi Jinping in 2013 during his visit to Kazakhstan, and it is Central Asia that holds the utmost importance for the realization of the Belt element. In 2014, Xi Jinping unveiled proposals for the creation of fresh maritime trade infrastructure following the historical path of Marco Polo, a maritime Silk Road linking China, Southeast Asia, Africa, and Europe. This extended route would circumvent the Malacca Strait, encompassing fueling stations, ports, bridges, industrial facilities, and infrastructure spanning Southeast Asia and extending into the Indian Ocean. In this endeavor, Pakistan is considered one of the most pivotal partner countries, notably through its involvement in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project. The Belt and Road Initiative in Asia. China views the Belt and Road Initiative as vital for securing its extensive land borders, encompassing 15 neighboring nations. While this strengthens China's periphery diplomacy, the idea of the initiative forming a united front against the US is not entirely accurate. Russia, due to its influence over former Soviet states, is wary of the Belt, challenging its authority. Furthermore, India opposes the initiative, particularly the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, as it involves disputed regions and nuclear-armed neighbors. Malaysia's ECRL project, marred by corruption allegations, reinforces concerns about the BRI's integrity. Malaysia, however, hasn't fully rejected the initiative, attributing the issues to localized corruption. Expanding into Africa. Chinese banks have provided financing for a multitude of ventures across Africa, encompassing significant undertakings such as a major gas pipeline and railway systems in Nigeria. Additionally, they have been involved in initiatives in countries like Uganda, Egypt, Ethiopia, and numerous other nations on the continent. The high-speed railway in Kenya. At the core of the Kenyan government's involvement in the Belt and Road Initiative lies a high-speed railway that spans from Mombasa to Nairobi, marking the African continent's inaugural high-speed railway. This railway, constructed by Chinese entities, has not only generated employment opportunities and training for the local workforce responsible for its operation, but has also raised significant concerns about Kenya's capacity to manage the Chinese loans used to fund the railway project and the broader debt responsibilities it holds with China. Belt and Road in Italy and Greece. One facet of the Belt and Road Initiative that has stirred unease among Western analysts is its expansion of Chinese influence into established European countries, including Greece and Italy, the latter being a member of the G7. In the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, Greece grappled with an extended period of economic turmoil, leading to deteriorating relations with the European Union. In 2016, China's shipping company COSCO acquired a controlling interest in the Piraeus port, which ranks as the 7th largest harbor in Europe. Subsequently, in August 2018, Greece formally declared its participation in the Belt and Road Initiative. In March 2019, a coalition government led by the Five Star Movement, characterized as populist, made a decision to formally align Italy with the Belt and Road Initiative. This was marked by the signing of a memorandum of understanding with Xi Jinping during his visit to Rome. The inclusion of Italy and Greece in the initiative raised concerns within the United States. Nonetheless, the Italian involvement in the initiative is notably lacking in specific details. The Memorandum of Understanding predominantly consists of amicable diplomatic language and acknowledgments of pre-existing collaborations. Moreover, Prime Minister Mario Draghi, who assumed office in the new government in 2021, indicated that Italy might contemplate withdrawing from the initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative Debt Trap. Debt trap diplomacy alleges that China employs the Belt and Road Initiative as a strategic tool. It involves funding major infrastructure projects in developing countries with unsustainable loans, which China later leverages to influence these governments. This notion emerged in part from projects like the Hambantota port development in Sri Lanka. The inability of the Sri Lankan government to repay Chinese loans led to a 99-year lease of the port to China. While these benefits China strategically, the project was initially part of Sri Lanka's vision and fell victim to local mismanagement. The Belt and Road should not be seen as a unified strategy, but as a collection of individual bilateral agreements, often with unclear terms. 15 Chinese government ministries are involved, as are various provinces, diplomats, and client governments, all with their own interests. Even the central government struggles to provide a comprehensive list of Belt and Road projects. This lack of transparency fuels confusion and distrust. Democratic response to the BRI. In the United States and among its primary allies, the initiative is predominantly viewed with skepticism. It is often characterized as a form of debt trap diplomacy, perceived as a predatory and opaque venture that poses a potential threat to Western interests. Nevertheless, democracies have exhibited a sluggish and fragmented response to the Belt and Road Initiative. A unified approach only materialized following the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic during the 2021 G7 summit. It was here that the joint Build Back Better World Declaration proposed an alternative infrastructure initiative led by major Western democracies. The effectiveness of this endeavor remains uncertain, especially considering it has been introduced 8 years after the inception of the Chinese initiative and during a time when democratic governments are increasingly focused on domestic matters. However, concerns about the Belt and Road heralding the inevitable establishment of a new world order led by China may be somewhat premature. The initiative is still relatively nascent, and its funding, shrouded in opacity, makes it challenging to gauge its level of success. Challenges in estimating BRI costs. The Chinese government serves as the guarantor for the initiative, with its 4 state-owned banks extending loans to state-owned enterprises. While some governments have expressed disapproval of the Belt and Road due to the absence of private sector involvement, even the Chinese private sector demonstrates limited enthusiasm for the initiative, mainly because the return on investment appears to be insufficient. Determining the cost of the Belt and Road Initiative proves challenging given the obscurity surrounding its financing. Notably, Beijing has refrained from committing any fresh state capital to the initiative since 2019. Deteriorating relations with the United States have prompted Beijing to reevaluate its strategy concerning the initiative and its associated risks. As a result, ambitions have been downsized, focusing primarily on China's immediate geographic vicinity, encompassing Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Central Asia, while reducing investments in Europe and Latin America. The future of the Belt and Road Initiative. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, Chinese state banks redirected a greater portion of their support to domestic projects, mirroring the trend seen across the world. On an international scale, China has narrowed the scope of its endeavors to projects located along its extensive border and within Southeast Asia. Investments in foreign regions have markedly decreased since reaching their zenith in 2015. In September 2020, President Xi Jinping made a significant announcement indicating that China would aim to achieve a peak in its CO2 emissions before 2030 and attain carbon neutrality by 2060. This decision bears tangible implications for Belt and Road investments. Nonetheless, China continues to invest in coal, alongside substantial commitments to renewable energy sources like wind and solar. The forthcoming decade will provide insights into the extent to which the Belt and Road will foster green infrastructure, industry, and energy solutions. It will also offer a clearer perspective on the initiative's global implications. The Belt and Road Initiative is a truly massive undertaking. It has the potential to reshape the world order and to create new opportunities for economic growth and development. But it is important to remember that the initiative is still in its early stages. There are many challenges that need to be overcome before the vision of a globalized China becomes a reality. If you like this video, click the next one shown on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.